Hey everybody, welcome back to Café Stella. A lot happened last time, even though
Yes.
I wasn't here.
Yes, it did. I swear, you always end up missing the really interesting parts.
I know!
Boy, what an episode that was, though. You have seen it.
Yes, I have.
We were on the money. At least in terms of, I think, Shiki's health.
Yes. But there's also that whole thing of she died.
Yes, that caught me off guard too, because wait, what now?
What makes that brilliant and what is. Okay, so a good written story that has a twist like that sets it up. There are hints. At the very beginning of the game, when he first gets hit, so this would be about episode 2.
Okay.
He mentions that he wonders if anyone else got hit, but he can't see anything.
Oh, that's right. He did say that.
Mm-hmm. And so he stops worrying about it because he can't see, and he's worried about himself because he's dying. Makes sense.
And a virgin.
Yeah. So it's like it already gave you hints that he wasn't the only person who got hit.
Yeah.
And that's brilliant. But you don't think about it because the story's about him and that's what matters, and then it just keeps going and doesn't mention it again.
That is a very good catch. I didn't even realize that. Wow.
So I wish I had been here because that was a genuine what moment from me.
Oh, I know.
Wow, I was surprised.
Well, and there was just so many really cool parts to it because we got to share the kiss.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of came out of nowhere, too. I mean, the setting was nice, and the setting kind of was building up to it, but the fact that she initiated it.
Because she herself has implied that she has feelings for Oro in her inner monologues.
Yeah, right.
So it does, and it is Shiki. So
Yeah.
it does, to me, it makes more sense that she is the one to initiate it than him.
Okay, you know what? That is fair. I guess the balancing part of it, too, comes where she did the initiation, but then he was the one to actively start pursuing it afterward.
Yes.
I also really hope we get the opportunity. I don't know if it'll necessarily be in this route. I feel like it probably will, but I really hope we get to find out more about the situation with Kousei's mom.
Me too, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good parallel.
Well, and also
Shiki.
his relationship with his dad fully getting better.
Mm-hmm. Because it's starting, but it definitely has
Yeah.
a long way to go. Maybe it was due to the lack of sleep, but I can't exactly recall what happened after I returned to my apartment. I must have been absolutely exhausted. As a result, I slept like a log, and when I woke up, my body felt lighter than it had the day before.
Yesterday was a hell of a day.
No kidding. And I'm not talking about the stall. I mean, emotionally speaking. I'd managed to learn a lot about Shiki-san's feelings. And although she turned me down,
I guess it's better than a flat-out rejection. I mean, there should still be something I can do to change her mind.
we're just going to take a note from Oro's book and push, push, push. Truth to be told, this is the first time I've ever felt so strongly about anyone. In that sense, you might say this is the first time I've ever truly been in love.
I'm getting itchy just thinking about it.
I just imagined him start scratching like, cocaine. Even for me, that was an incredibly embarrassing thought.
But I mean, I really do feel that way about her. Anyway, I guess I'll shower first.
I was so exhausted yesterday that I'd gone to bed without showering, I think. I passed out so quickly that even I wasn't 100% sure.
Ohio.
うん、お はよう。
Well, let's start getting things set up.
それは、はい。なんか肩透かし。昨日のこと何か言ってくるのかと思ってた。
I did, but it's all in my head.
Sorry. Could you set up the steamer for me?
ああ、蒸し器ね、蒸し器。わかった。いきなり謝るから何かと思った。昨日のことを謝ってきたのかと。
Once we finished setting up the stall, I made my way over toward the cafe. I offered to carry the frozen meat buns today, but more importantly, there was something that I needed to confirm.
そうですか。夏目さんとその話をしたんですか。
You know what her apartment kind of reminds me of? The protagonist from Persona 5.
Okay, yeah.
I guess that makes sense because that's also kind of a loft over a cafe.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and I want to know if it's true.
嘘でも冗談でもない。四季夏目もまたあの時に死んでしまった人間だ。
Wow.
She also seems to think she's going to die again soon.
その可能性は否定できんな。四季夏目の場合、生きることに消極的だった。
自分の身に何かあっても後悔をしないで済むようにしてたんだと思います。
そのせいで魂の力が弱すぎるのだ。
その上、一時的とはいえ命を落としてしまいましたから。
Mikado produces a small lantern from underneath his cloak. A faint bluish-white light glowed from within.
ここに四季夏目のこぼれた魂を封じてある。
Wait, what?
So they actually managed to capture part of her soul from the alternate timeline jump.
Yeah, because, like, I guess it went in, like, part of it, because she can't pull herself back, like we did.
Yeah.
And she had nothing to do with it. Like, she's alive because we did that, but it's an accident that it returned her to life. Like, that's, you know, it's just happenstance. That's what I mean.
Yeah, that was part of what they were talking about toward the latter half of
the
last episode, because it was just like, she was going to die, but then we fucked it up. But in a good way.
I thought it was your job to return people's souls to God's side.
死者の魂ならばな。だが、四季夏目はまだ生きている。
That's like a dogma technicality right there. Did Kevin Smith write this plotline?
この蝶も元の魂に戻ることは可能なのだ。そのために現世にとどまらせる必要がある。
Alright, so they just do the fusion dance they're in, no problem, right?
Can be really hard to do a fusion dance with a butterfly. Do you just like point your fingers and hope you get it?
I mean, ooh, good point, because both fingers have to touch.
Maybe they can do the earring method.
I was about to say, how small can you make that earring? But because Shiki-san doesn't have the will to live, her soul's too weak for it to return?
そういうことだ。魂の力を強めるには生きたいと思うことが重要だ。つまり生への執着だな。満足した、いつ死んでもいい。本気でそんなことを考えているのであれば。
Is it really that simple? As long as she has the will to live, she'll be able to keep on living?
理屈としてはな。
There's a lot of theory behind this.
何かのきっかけさえあれば、四季夏目が今の自分の変化を受け入れることさえできれば解決する。正直なところ、前よりはずっと前向きになっているのだ。このまま放っておいてもいずれは。
Something has to make Shiki-san accept how much she's changed.
高峰さんは夏目さんのことが好きなんですね。
No. Yes.
Was it that obvious?
ありありと。別にからかうつもりじゃありません。安心しているんです。その調子なら高峰さんの問題も解決しそうですから。
Alright, 2 butterflies, 1 stone.
高峰さんなら大丈夫ですよ。私が保証します。
As usual, I have no idea where her unwavering confidence in me comes from. Nevertheless, I have no intention of letting her down.
協力が必要な時はいつでも言え。これも死神としての仕事だからな。遠慮はいらん。
Kinda feels like using cheat codes, but you know what? We'll take it.
Thanks. I know I said I'd manage on my own before, but now that you mention it, there is something you could help me with. Could you take over at the stall for me for a bit?
それでいいのか。なんなら今日一日変わっても構わんが。
No, that shouldn't be necessary. I'll only need a couple hours at most.
わかった。
なんかヌイッターで見たんだけど、肉まんの屋台があるんだとさ。
Winner.
屋台の肉まん？中華街とかならともかく正月の屋台では珍しいな。
その屋台にすっげえ可愛いチャイナ服の店員がいるんだってさ。
チャイナ服？正月に？和服じゃなくて？
売ってるのが肉まんだからだろう。その方が雰囲気あるじゃん。結構うまいらしいぜ。
Are you talking about the food?
ヌイッターで見ただけなんだろ？話半分にしてた方がいいんじゃないか？
味はそうかもしんないけどさ、チャイナ服の女の子はめっちゃ可愛かったぞ。写真を見ただけだけど。
Yeah, but you have to go onto Instagram to see those.
とりあえず行ってみようぜ。どうせついでだろ。
いいけどな、別に。
いらっしゃいませ。
Oh yeah, that reminds me. As we are going back into this scene, keep on the lookout for any cameos because I don't know if I missed any while you were gone, but I figured you'd be able to spot something.
The only people I know who have cameos in this game so far, add them in the comments if you know. Wakane has her cameo in the street.
Right.
What's her name and Nanami have one in the cafe.
Right.
And then Ayase has one in the like the canteen at the school.
Oh, okay.
And those are the only ones I can think of. If there's more, let me know.
Fair.
Also, still love the outfit, just like them.
ください。俺も一つ。
はい、ありがとうございます。
かわいい。ヌイッターもバカにできないな。
Hey, wait a minute. She didn't warn them it was hot. They're gonna burn themselves.
だろ？この肉まんもうまい。ちょっと小さいけど、俺もう一つ買ってこようかな。
Lately, we seem to be getting quite a number of these sorts of customers. Although I'm grateful for their business, it kind of rubs me the wrong way.
I can't imagine Shiki-san would ever be attracted to any of these guys, but still, seeing them flock here just to ogle at her kind of pisses me off.
Internal, external voice. I felt the same jealousy when Hiroto stopped by to visit the other day. I'm glad that people acknowledge Shiki-san's beauty, but at the same time, I don't want other guys staring at her. Kind of egotistical, now that I think about it. Still, it's not as if all of our customers are like that. Swallowing my dissatisfaction for now, I force a smile back onto my face.
thank you very much. It's very hot, so please be careful.
肉まんください。
Oh, hey. Oh, I like her hair.
Wait, isn't that how she normally has it?
No, it's slightly different.
That'll be 100 yen. Wait, Yoshidani-san?
明けましておめでとうございます、先輩。
Omedetou gozaimasu. You here to visit the shrine?
はい。あと、のぞみちゃんに挨拶と屋台の様子を見に。結構な盛況ぶりですね。
Yeah, thanks to Shiki-san.
チャイナ服姿の夏目先輩、セクシー。そりゃあお客さんも来ますよね。
Calling it like it is.
The buns themselves are getting quite the reputation, too, thanks to all the effort she, put into making them. Here you go. Oh, careful though, it's hot.
いただきまーす。はっはっおいしい。この味で、この値段で、夏目先輩のチャイナ。人気も出ますよね、そりゃ。
Yep. Cheap, hot, and well dressed. That's how we like it.
It's all thanks to Shiki-san's hard work.
まさかチャイナ服を着てるとは思ってませんでした。うわー、かわいい。そして色っぽい。はっ、もしかしてあのチャイナ服も先輩の私物だったりとか。
Why does everyone make this assumption? We do not have a cosplay fetish. Or do we?
What do you mean, two? I don't have a damn cosplay fetish, and I'm not a crossdresser either. I'll have you know, Shiki-san bought that dress herself.
へえ、やっぱり意外です。そういうの嫌がりそうなイメージでしたけど。
Well, enjoy is probably not the right word.
I couldn't believe it either at first.
はい、ありがとうございます。暑いのでお気をつけください。
But much like Shakira, those hips don't lie. The more Shiki-san had gotten used to serving customers, the more naturally she'd learned how to smile. But not in the sense that she'd learned how to fake it. Rather, it seems to me like she's found something she enjoys doing that brings a smile to her face.
あの服、先輩も喜んでたりするんじゃないですか？小躍りするくらいに。
Yeah, please. I wasn't jumping. I was straight up dancing.
だと思いました。
Okay, I guess it really is obvious to everyone except for us.
She'd get mad at me if she heard that, though. So do me a favor and keep that between us.
了解です。あ、休憩とか取れてます？私も手伝いますよ。そのつもりで来てますから。
Business had been fairly slow this morning, but come afternoon, things had started getting rather busy. As a result, I haven't been able to take a proper break yet.
I appreciate the offer, Yoshidani-san. But you can go ahead and visit the shrine first. You can always come help out afterwards. If you're looking for Nozomi, she should be at the fortune-telling area right about now.
じゃあお言葉に甘えてそうさせてもらいますね。お疲れ様です。
Oh, there you are. Thanks for coming.
礼を言われるようなことではない。約束したことだしな。それで言っていた通り交代するか。
Sure.
わかった。
夏目さんもお疲れ様です。交代しますから休憩してください。
ありがとう。
By the way, I think Yoshidani-san's gonna drop by and help out later. She's over at the shrine right now.
わかった。後のことは任せておけ。
After switching with them, I leave the shrine. My destination is Miwa General Hospital. Since it's New Year's, the hospital isn't accepting any medical appointments, but visitors are still allowed during the day. As I made sure of beforehand, the hospital ward's automatic doors grant me entry without any problem. Naturally, however, I'm not here to visit a patient. Neither am I here to meet anyone. No, the reason I came here was to take another look at the drawings decorating the lobby. Aha! He did see one by Shiki.
I think he did.
Yeah.
I was going to make the joke, oh, he's also here to figure out that affair.
The drawings made by the children in this hospital. There are quite a number of drawings on display, both new and old. But among them, there was one in particular that stood out to me the last time I'd visited the hospital. That's the one I'm here to see.
Looks like I was right.
Locating the drawing, I walk in front of it once more and give it a good look. I found Waldo. Artistically, it's not particularly impressive compared to the others around it. But what caught my eye was the subject of the drawing itself.
This has to be a drawing of a cafe.
There's the counter, and a man behind it pouring coffee. A waitress wearing a familiar maid-like uniform, and another girl wearing the same thing. Around them are a bunch of children who seem to be customers. Everyone is smiling. Perhaps these customers are the other children in the hospital when this was drawn? Or alternatively, the artist's friends?
Either way, these uniforms look very similar to the maid outfit Shiki-san wore the first time I met her. Far too similar to be a mere coincidence.
Of course, she'd agreed to overhaul the waitress uniforms back then. But that maid outfit may have been more important to her than I'd realized. I guess I should have known. If it wasn't important to her, she wouldn't still be trying to think of a way to wear it at work after all this time.
Well, this is all just speculation on my part. I need definite proof that this drawing is hers.
ねえねえ、あなた前にここで先生と話してた人じゃない？
Oh yeah, you're
Oh hey,
the
Dr.
mistress.
Miyama's mistress.
Yeah. I turn around to see a girl with crutches.
Oh, we met on Christmas, didn't we?
そうそう、やっぱりあの時の店員さんでしょ。あのケーキ本当に美味しかったよ。先生に場所聞いて今度絶対に行くからね。
You sure you're supposed to be walking around like this?
じっとしてたら体がなまっちゃう。体力落としたくないんだよね。
That's a good point.
You broke your leg climbing a mountain, right? If I recall, that's what you drew your picture of.
It's so refreshing to have a protagonist that actually has a memory.
Who's like a decent detective.
そういや前も絵を気にしてたね。何してるの？誰かのお見舞いとか？
No, actually, I came here to take a look at these drawings. You wouldn't happen to know who drew each of these, would you?
そりゃもう私が入院してた頃に描かれた絵なら。
I'm interested in this drawing here, the cafe. Would you happen to know the person's name or anything?
それを描いた子なら覚えてるけど。でもなんで？聞いてどうするの？
To me at least. My life depends on it.
大げさに聞こえるけど、少なくとも冗談って様子でもなさそうだね。とりあえず事情くらい教えてよ。それくらいは聞かせてもらわないとさ。ほら、個人情報だから。
Tell me or we're going to expose your affair.
Sorry I'm late.
おかえりなさい先輩。ずいぶん長い休憩でしたね。
Yeah, I had to go take care of a little something. Sorry, Mikado. I didn't mean to take so long.
大したことではない。それよりも 収穫は。
Yeah, more or less.
何の話ですか？
Cryptic stuff, don't worry about it.
It's a secret.
余計に気になる。
Anyway, I can take over now. Thanks for holding down the fort, Yujidani-san.
いえ、これくらい何でもないですよ。明日も手伝いましょうか？
That'd be great. I'm sure our customers would be much happier seeing your cheerful smile instead of, my sour mug.
もう何言ってるんですか、先輩。お世辞とか言われても悪い気はしませんけど。
No, I'm serious. If I were a customer, I'd much prefer that sunny smile of yours.
褒めても何も出ませんよ。
Ooh, is somebody jealous?
What? What?
戻ったなら仕事して。
Somebody's jealous.
Right, sorry. She's not mad, is she? Did something happen while I was away?
特には何も。さっきまで明るく接客してくれてましたよ。
Oh.
すみません。肉まんを2つください。
Yes, sir. That'll be 200 yen, please.
デレデレしちゃって。
Ooh.
I just asked him for 200 yen.
気持ちを変えてやるとか言ったくせに。
Well, you know, if you have to buy someone like that.
あれ？でも私が怒る筋合いじゃないのか。断ったのは私なんだから。
Yeah.
でもなんか
Internal groaning, that's a new one. After we finish cleaning up, I give my back a good stretch.
Another day done. Guess tomorrow will be our last hurrah. I think it's safe to say our meat buns were a huge success.
そうね。でもまだ終わったわけじゃないから明日もよろしく。
Yeah, I know.
あれ？待っててくれたんだ。
I wanted to walk you home.
でも
There's something I want to talk to you about.
うん。
Shiki-san and I make our way home side by side. Well, to her home. How many times have we walked back together like this?
Yeah, we can probably count.
That's true. 4? In reality, it probably hasn't been that many times. It only feels that way because I've spent so much time with her these past few days.
Tomorrow will be our last day running the stall. After that, I guess it's back to work as usual at the cafe.
正月の休みを取った分、お客さんが離れなきゃいいんだけど。
Judging by how popular we were last year, I doubt that'll be a concern. We'll be just fine.
なんか妙に自信があるみたいだけど、何か根拠があるってこと？
Intuition.
None at all.
Never mind.
情けないことを堂々と言わないで。
I'm serious, though. I know how important this cafe is to you. Even if our customers have lost interest, we'll just have to reel them back in. And if we can't do that, we'll bring in a new customer base. And it's not all about that anyway. Didn't I tell you yesterday? I don't think I'll ever forget the memories I've made at Café Stella. It holds a special place in my heart, and I'm sure the same thing goes for Nozomi and Hyuchidani-san and Suzune-san as well.
なんかムカつく。
What's that supposed to mean?
なんでもない。
Although she'd snapped at me for seemingly no reason at all, I decided to let it slide because of how cute she looks when she gets angry.
それで話っていうのは何？
Oh, right. Where to start? Basically, I want to see you wearing your maid outfit again.
Turns out I actually do have a cosplay fetish.
ついにコスプレ好きの趣味を隠さなくなってきたか。
No, I'll admit that later. No, that's not what I'm saying. I know it was your dream to wear that outfit since you were a kid.
何言ってるの？
You remember how I went to Miwa Hospital on Christmas to return the present Mr. Miyama left at the cafe, don't you? I saw something while I was there. There were drawings decorating the lobby, drawn by the children in the hospital.
へえ、そうなんだ。
Among them was a little girl's drawing of a waitress working at a cafe.
子供の頃にカフェに憧れる女の子は多いからね。あとパティシエとかも。
Maybe, but the uniforms these waitresses were wearing looked identical to the one you wore when I first met you.
ああ、ならメイド喫茶なのかもね。あの服割とベーシックな感じだし。
Well, that's why I went to investigate who had drawn it. That's where I went on my break today. As luck would have it, I ran into a patient who recognized the girl who drew that picture. They'd been in the pediatrics ward around the same time. That picture you drew was really sweet, Shiki-san.
We are the world's greatest detective.
You were right, it feels really good.
そういえば、あの頃の私は純真だったな。
No need to smile all wistfully like that. You might have grown a bit more cynical these days, but I still think you're just as cute.
それさ、フォローしてるつもりかもしれないけど、結構煽ってるからね。
It's a process.
Sorry.
はあ、未だに飾ってあるとは思ってなかった。
The patient I talked to said you were the one who designed those outfits, too.
デザインってほどでもない。お店を始めるときに制服はどんなのがいいか親に聞かれたの。
And you suggested they wear maid outfits?
限定したわけじゃないけど、確か好きだったキャラクターグッズのコラボカフェがあってね。そのお店のウェイトレス服が可愛いと思ってた。当時は。
Right.
そもそもはもっと子供向けのアニメとかに出てきそうな制服だったんだけどね。お母さんが着るにはちょっと若すぎたというか幼すぎたから、今みたいなメイド風に落ち着いて、それを絵に描いてみただけ。思い入れが深いってほどじゃない。
Still, if that outfit didn't mean anything to you, you wouldn't have said it was something you wanted to wear personally that one time.
ほんとやらかしたな。やっぱり変な欲を出してもろくなことがない。
Why don't we think of a way to make that maid outfit work? Even if it means we have to do another complete overhaul, I'm sure we can think of something. So please, don't go telling me you're satisfied just yet. The whole cafe thing was your dream in the first place, remember? I'm not gonna let you call it quits and leave the rest of us. I'm gonna make sure you take full responsibility.
責任？
I'm gonna make you marry me.
Whoa.
バーカ。
Ow? You could have at least given it some thought before shooting me down.
In fairness, that's not where I was expecting him to go either.
It actually was once he said that.
言ったでしょ。私に期待されても困る。仮に責任を取ったとしても、高峰君を後悔させるだけ。
I wouldn't. Don't you remember what I told you yesterday? These days, I feel more fulfilled than ever. Everything around me seems to sparkle, even though it's the same old scenery. And it's all because of you, Shiki-san.
Well, maybe I would be grief-stricken if something did happen to her, but even still.
I'd never regret being with you. I guarantee.
やめてそういうの。ダメだから。私は他の人を振り回すような価値のない人間だから。
You're worth it to me. In fact, the time I've spent with you at Café Stella was just about the only worthwhile thing I've done my entire life. I'll still love you, no matter how many times you turn me down. I love Shiki Natsume with all my heart.
But at least we didn't yell it this time.
You're the one who brightened my life. So now, I want to brighten your life the same way you brightened mine. So, will you please go out with me?
もうすでにキラキラしてるし。
Well, I'll make you enjoy it even more. We'll go on dates together, walk around holding hands, share another kiss. Those are things I want to do with you. But if you can't be my girlfriend, no matter what, then at least be my lover.
Well, okay then. Going for broke on this one.
せめての使い方がおかしいでしょ、バーカ。
Oh, they're different.
What I'm trying to say is, I love you.
今日はここでいい。ここで十分。ここからは一人で帰る。
We're wearing her down. Just need to keep hammering on that one spot.
聞こえないふりしてるわけじゃない。ちゃんと聞こえた。でも今日は一人で帰らせて、一人で歩きたい気分だから。
All right. Will I see you at the stall, same time as usual tomorrow? Or should I ask Akazuki-san or someone to help instead?
それは、ちゃんと行く。私の仕事だから。
All right. See you then tomorrow. Good night.
うん。おやすみ。
Bidding her goodbye, I turn to leave.
あのさ。
Yes.
Hmm?
Turning back around, I see Shiki-san's hand raised halfway into the air. Almost as if she wants to grab my sleeve.
あ、
Her gaze wavers slightly, unsure of what to do with that hand. In the end, she decides to give me a small wave.
また明日ね。
Yeah. See ya.
I'd said all I wanted to. And I'm fairly confident I got my feelings across. Coming to that conclusion, I contented myself to meekly backing down. But was that really for the best? Maybe I should have pressed her a bit more, been a little more persistent.
Well, too late now.
She did say she'd show up for the stall tomorrow at least. And she's not the sort of person who goes back on her word.
On second thought, I really should have been more pushy.
For a little while longer, I continued to lay on my bed, agonizing over my decision.
Café Stella と死神の蝶。
And we're back to the yawns! One per episode.
I think I've had 2 today.
Oh yeah. Well, one was a stretch. Despite not having received a clear answer from Shiki-san yesterday, I enjoyed a surprisingly good night's sleep. Probably because I got everything off my chest and managed to convey my feelings to her. I don't know if that means she'll give me a reply the moment I see her today. But I'm hopeful I'll get some sort of response.
I wonder what she's gonna say. Anyway, I should wash up first.
After a deep breath, I step confidently out the door and head towards Akaiwa Shrine.
She's not here.
This is around the time we usually start setting up the stall.
Maybe she overslept after everything that happened yesterday? Well, I guess I'll have to get started without her. Still not here.
Even after it came time to open for business, Shiki-san remained to be seen.
She's not avoiding me, is she?
No, she's not that sort of person. But even though I tried texting and even calling her, I'd gotten no response. This is a bit of a problem. Maybe I shouldn't have said all those things to her after all? Shit. Now I'm doubting myself all over again.
Snap out of it. There's no point in thinking about that now.
The current problem at hand is that I'm understaffed.
I'm not going to be able to run the stall on my own. But I can't go looking for Shiki-san and leave the place unattended either.
With no other choice, I pull my phone out in order to call Mikado or Akazuki-san and ask for help. But before I can press call, my phone rings.
Hello?
高峰さんですか？今連絡がありまして、夏目さんが病院に運ばれて。
Oh shit. I had a feeling that was going to happen.
What?
Café Stella と死神の蝶。あのさ。
For a moment, my hand stretches out towards him. Maybe these are my true feelings after all. But in the end, I'm unable to muster up the courage. Instead, I withdraw my hand and give him a light wave.
また明日ね。
As I watch him leave, I feel my chest tighten up. Nothing good has ever come from me asking for more than I deserve. All I do is fall ill at the worst possible moments and inconvenience the people around me. I'm done. I won't inconvenience anyone anymore. That's what I told myself for the longest time. But now I'm having second thoughts. If it were anyone but him, I wouldn't be thinking this way. Without him, we would never have been able to open the cafe. All of those customers, all of those smiling faces, none of that would have ever been possible either. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't be enjoying my life as much as I am. Closing my eyes, I can picture it clearly. The herbal scent of tea, the earthly aroma of coffee, the sweet smell of cakes, the noisy chatter of customers, the voices of my fellow waitresses. These memories stand out in my mind with bright, vivid color. Maybe not literally, though, since this is in black and white.
Metaphorical color.
Yeah. Also, the tongue. I can't not see the tongue.
Well, every time. I know it's not, but that's what I see every time.
He made it all possible. All I'd ever done was give up, but he never gave up on me. My dream had always been silly, trifle things. And because of that, I'd never thought about sharing them with others. But he completely ignored my feelings and barged his way into my life. He'd come straight out and told me that he loved me. And at this rate, I'm actually starting to believe him. I'm actually starting to feel hopeful again.
望んでもいいのかな?
The words unconsciously slip from my mouth. Unable to come up with an answer to that question, I return home by myself. But as my apartment comes into view, my vision suddenly blurs and my field of view turns dark. My chest tightens painfully. Beads of cold sweat begin to form on my skin. Nausea starts to mount, forcing me to my knees. I can't breathe. My body won't move. The pain is so terrible that I can hardly think. He went out of his way to confess to me, to say he loved me. I might have even been able to live a happy life with him, but alas, it was never meant to be.
やっぱりこうなっちゃうのか。
This is surely for the best, though. I'd rather it happen now instead of after I'd reciprocated his feelings.
ごめん。やっぱり私はダメみたい。
Giving up and peacefully accepting my fate, I succumb into the darkness. I feel a pang of regret, ever so faintly, for all the things that could have been.
せめて最後にありがとうくらいは言っておきたかったな。
In the end, my life was one filled with nothing but regret. When I was first told that I was sickly and unlike most normal people, all I could do was simply accept it and say, okay. In all likelihood, I hadn't truly understood the gravity of what that had meant. All it meant to me back then was that I had to miss school a lot more than the other kids, especially when it came time for school events. And not just the field trips, I wasn't able to participate in many class outings either. After all, it would have been rather problematic if something were to happen to me. Perhaps out of consideration for my health, my peers rarely asked me to play with them. Even when I was invited, I'd often be unable to go due to the volatility of my health. I think the majority of those around me regarded me with pity. My parents, on the other hand, were kind and patient. Though my health caused them all kinds of problems, they never became upset with me, even once. On the contrary, they always smiled when they spoke to me, and always listened to what I had to say.
カフェで私も働く。可愛い服を着たいな。 なんかこう、メイドさんみたいなのとか。
Although they always talked about their dreams with such joy, my parents didn't hesitate to give it up in the blink of an eye for my sake. Words cannot express my gratitude toward them. But that's exactly why I felt even guiltier for making them give up so much. For being such a burden. For snatching away their dreams. And ultimately, for being such an insignificant person, despite all they had done for me.
ごめんね、こんな子供で。生まれたのが私じゃなかったら、諦めずに済んだはずなのに。だから、ごめんなさい。
I didn't want to inconvenience anyone further. I didn't want to be a burden on those around me. So I did what I thought was best, and decided to stay out of other people's lives. I retreated into my shell, and that's how I lived my life. One day, however, a mysterious cat appeared before me. In a rather arrogant voice, he demanded I find a reason to live. He was loud, annoying, and most of all, he angered me. He didn't know a thing about me. Who was he to tell me what to do? But still, his words shook me. A Grim Reaper and a Catshi. Two mystical beings standing before me who, unlike my parents or my friends, I had absolutely no connection with. In that case, perhaps they wouldn't mind if I inconvenienced them a bit. That's what they told me, after all. It wouldn't be my fault. Maybe, just maybe, I could confide in them. But even as I thought that, I was surprised at the words which came out of my own mouth.
Cafe.
It was the dream I had had ever since I was a child, to open a cafe with my parents, helping out and wearing cute clothes. In truth, I think I wanted to give up on it. There was no way I knew how to run a restaurant. My childish fantasy would never pan out the way I'd imagined. Not to mention, I couldn't possibly tell my parents that I wanted to open a cafe after all this time. I was only piggybacking along. The cafe was their dream. And I was the one who forced them to abandon it. Maybe I should just let this fail. It's not going to work anyway. That's what I told myself. Then this cat-like creature might finally give up on me too. Or so I thought. But things took an unexpected turn, and I ended up being killed in a car accident. Honestly, I imagine I was rather relieved when I died. After all, I'd been thinking about it for a long time now. But before I even realized it, I'd become genuinely invested in living. All because of him.
彼はムカつく男だ。
contradicting my expectations at every turn. Turning back time itself so the accident never happened. More and more people started working at the cafe. More and more people started getting involved. The waitresses' uniforms changed, started showing a lot more leg. Although we did get customers, the place began to feel more like a cake shop than an actual cafe. Partly due to my own inability and inexperience, of course. Regardless, things were turning out completely different from what I'd originally envisioned. But then, slowly but surely, more and more customers started showing up. More than I ever thought possible. Not only did they praise our cakes, but our coffee and tea as well. And they did so with smiles on their faces. All my life, I'd done nothing but inconvenience the people around me. But now, I was able to bring smiles to their faces. This was when I realized something. I was having fun. The world around me became so bright and colorful that it was almost blinding. This too, I began to accept as normal. Going to bars to drink with friends, visiting their apartments and cooking for them, texting each other about pointless topics, running a street stall at the New Year's festival, talking about the future, throwing a takoyaki party, exchanging Christmas presents, ringing in the new year together.
彼はとてもムカつく男だ。
He changed my world. These past few months were the best I had had in my entire life. Nothing else even compared. For once, I was happy. Incredibly happy. And that's why I decided I was satisfied. But he ignored me completely. I said this was enough. I'd given up and was ready to face death. But part of me felt scared. Whenever I saw the smiling faces of our customers, I couldn't help but feel happy. So happy. It made me want to keep working there at that cafe. It made me want to stay. With everyone. With him.
だから彼はとんでもなくムカつく男だ。
Quit telling me you love me. Quit making me happy. Don't make me fall in love with you anymore. It's no use trying to fool myself, though. Even if I hold it in, even if I cover it up, even if I avert my eyes, I can't deny the truth. These past few months have been an unforgettable experience for me. Not simply because I'd finally managed to open a cafe, but because of the one infuriating idiot who had made it the time of my life. Honestly, I don't even know why it needs to be said.
好きになるに決まってるでしょ。
Huh?
お
Shiki-san.
何これ。
Are you awake? Can you say your name? Do you know who I am?
何を言っているの、高峰くん。
Who's the prime minister? Wait, that's hard to keep track of.
Ah, there's the levity we've been missing from this whole situation.
Yeah, no, really good reads on that. Wow. Ooh.
Thank you.
Wow. This is an emotional episode. Ooh.
Yes, it is. Oh, man.
You know, sometimes I'm glad we have two VNs running at the same time.
Mm-hmm, to balance it out.
Yeah, so that we get, like, this game, and we get, like, oh, there's, like, 4 blonde waifus and stuff.
And just some goofy stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
The gravity of this one sometimes. I mean, it's not the first time it's hit really heavy in this game, but boy.
It's the
hitting
biggest
heavy.
it's hit, I think.
I think so too, I agree.
何そんな深刻な顔してどうしたの？
Thank God.
どういう意味？ というか、ここって
We're at Miwa General Hospital.
病院？そっか。私、高峰くんと別れて、その後家に戻る途中で変になって。その後はよく思い出せないけど。
You collapsed, so they brought you to the hospital.
どれくらい経ったの？
About 2.5 days now.
Ooh, wow.
そんなに。
You had us all worried to death.
ごめん。屋台はどうなったの？
It was a bit chaotic, but we managed to make it to the end. Thanks to everyone's help, our bun sold out completely. In terms of overall sales, we came in 3rd place.
That's actually pretty good considering new stall and there was a fair amount of competition, it looked like.
New stall and new restaurant, so
Yep.
you don't have like the name power of like, oh, it's this place.
Yep, just tasty buns and a cheapao.
Unfortunately, takoyaki turned out to be the crowd favorite in the end. Not too much of a surprise though. The cheap price must have been the deciding factor.
そう。負けちゃったか。散々振り回して、結局死に損なって。
Not exactly the takeaway we were going for.
Hey, that's not funny. Don't joke about that.
あ、
Been worried sick ever since I heard you collapsed and had to be admitted to the hospital. The doctors said they managed to treat you without any problems, but you remained unconscious the whole time. Even when I spoke to you, your eyes wouldn't open. I was legitimately afraid you'd never wake up. Do you understand why I was worried now?
さすがにそんなことは言えない。倒れた時、自分でもダメだと思った。死ぬってこういうことなんだって本気で思った。だから生きてることに自分でも驚いちゃって不用意なこと言った。ごめん。
You're alive, Shiki-san, and that's all that matters. Your legs are still attached too. Want me to show you?
とか言って生足を触りたいだけでしょ。おまわりさん。
Alright, she'll be fine. Everything's fine.
Shh, cut that out. I haven't even touched you yet.
Also, there may actually be officers in here.
You know, if you treat me like a molester, I might actually just touch you just to prove you wrong.
Boop her on the nose.
うわ、本当に高峰くんだ。
How and why is that your basis for this being reality?
She reads a lot of Isuke.
そういう変態なところ、私の想像では及ばないから。
Are you sure about
Okay,
that?
for some reason I doubt that.
Yeah.
でも、どうして？私死んでないの？いや、さっきの話を蒸し返すんじゃなくって、あれ、魂がダメで、だから、もうダメだって。
Well, you know that police song, Message in a Bottle? Well, they got part of your soul in a lantern.
That, I don't know. Maybe you're right and your soul did grow too weak. But whatever the case, you're alive and well. And what brought you back was...
まさか、愛の力とか寒いこと言わないでしょうね。
That's the power of love.
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
Oh, of course. Come on, even I'm not that corny. But I am.
Same.
Speaking of that, Back to the Future 1 and 2 were on TV the other day.
Oh, nice. I haven't seen those movies in ages.
They're so good still.
Yes.
As much as I wish it was the case, though, I'm not the one who saved you.
どういう意味？
Wait one sec. I need to let them know you're awake now. I swapped places with them a few minutes ago when I came to visit.
夏目。
Oh.
目覚めてよかった。本当によかった。
お父さん、お母さん、ごめんなさい。私、また。
夏目が無事で本当によかった。
連絡をもらった時は本当にびっくりしたけど、よかった。本当に。
The man and woman with me are Shiki-san's parents.
This should be the first time I've met them.
They've never been to Café Stella before, I don't think. Since I work in the kitchen, though, I may have simply missed them. Still, if they had visited us before, I'm sure somebody would have mentioned it.
Which means Shiki-san never invited them intentionally. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably because of that guilt she opened up to me about.
Her parents seem like extremely kind people, though. I can't imagine they would ever try to belittle their daughter's feelings. Shiki-san averts her eyes apologetically. She must feel guilty about inconveniencing them all the time due to her health. No matter how successful Café Stella has become, part of her might still be afraid of disappointing them. But that cafe is testament to all her hard work and dedication. She put in the effort, and slowly but surely, she made her dream a reality. She managed to put smiles on the faces of so many of her customers. Yet the fear of having all that denied by her parents must be far greater than I thought.
I hate this. There's nothing more frustrating than seeing the girl I love so sad, yet being unable to do anything about it.
本当にごめんなさい。
変なことを気にしなくていい。別に夏目が悪いわけじゃないんだ。
そうよ。謝ったりしなくていいから。
まずは体力を回復させよう。すみません。娘を助けていただいて本当にありがとうございました。
礼を言われるようなことではありません。当然のことですよ。
So she was the one.
夏目ちゃんが目を覚ましてくれて本当によかった。
大家さんがどうしてここに？
どうしても何も心配するのは当然のことじゃない。
She was the one who found you after you collapsed.
お正月に行ったおせち持っていく途中だったのに道で倒れているから驚いたわ。意識もなくてすぐに救急車を呼んだわよ。死んじゃうんじゃないかって私もドキドキして。でも本当に助かってよかった。
That landlady is your guardian angel.
ありがとうございます。すみません、ご心配をおかけしたみたいで。
いいのよ、夏目ちゃんがちゃんと目を覚ましてくれたんだから。
容体は落ち着いたし処置もしっかりやった。だから心配はしてなかったけど、でも起きてくれてほっとしたよ。
ゆいなちゃんのお父さん、確か三山さん。
Doctor. He didn't go to medical school to get an evil medical degree to be called Mr. Miyama.
That's what I was thinking of.
その説は大変お世話になりました。
三山先生が夏目の命を救ってくれたんだぞ。
たまたまその日の担当が僕でね、間に合って本当に良かった。発見がもう少し遅れてたらこんな風に話すことはできなかったかもしれない。でももう心配はないよ。あの店で見せた情けない姿を思い出すと心配になるかもしれないけど、どうか信じてほしい。娘のためにも胸を張って医者であり続けたいと思ってるから。
そんな風には思っていません。本当にありがとうございます。救ってもらって。
Remember, if she doesn't get the best care conceivably possible, everyone's gonna know about your affair.
もうしばらくは入院してもらうことになる。 でもさっき言った通り、もう問題はないから。安心してゆっくり休むように。倒れた原因の治療は終わったとはいえ、働きすぎという部分にも関係がないわけじゃないからね。それではご両親には今後のことを含めて少し話をさせていただきたいのですが。
はい、わかりました。
それじゃあ夏目、また後でね。
私もそろそろ帰るわね。夏目ちゃんが目覚めて安心したから。
本当にありがとうございました。
いいの、気にしないで。
I wonder if they're deliberately giving the two of us some alone time.
You gave me quite the scare, you know that? Even though I said I loved you, I wasn't there for you when it mattered most. If only I'd stayed with you a while longer that day, none of this would have happened. In fact, it's my fault for working you so hard in the first place, with the stall and everything.
それは違うでしょう。そもそもは私が言い出したことなんだから。
Well, either way, it made me realize something.
何のこと？
What you said before. About how inconsequential your existence is, how silly and trifle your dreams are. Remember that?
ああ、言ったっけ？
I don't want to argue with you, so I won't try to change your mind. But there's one thing I want you to realize. That silly dream of yours was what saved your life. You curried the landlady's favor and got her approval to open the cafe. You worked hard to bring smiles to your customers' faces and, as a result, convinced Mr. Miyama to continue being a doctor. If that hadn't happened, you'd have ended up dead. But you didn't. Because you changed your fate with your own efforts. And that's only one part of it. I'm sure you've changed a lot of other people's lives that you don't even know about.
それは違うでしょ。だって私が一人で解決させたことなんて一つもないし。
But you're the one who set them into motion.
でもやっぱり高峰くんがいなかったら今とは違う結果になってた。
Now, there's nothing wrong with that. You can rely on me again and again. Whatever life throws at you, the two of us can overcome it.
I'm just a college kid, though, so there might be a limit to what I can do. But I know Shiki-san understands that. So this is no time to be a coward. It's time to grow a pair and show her what I'm made of. I meant what I said before. I want to accept everything about her. And in order to do that, I can't shrink back. Even if it's just for show, I have to stand tall. If I don't strut my stuff here, I'll regret it the rest of my life.
You might think of yourself as a burden, but I've never enjoyed being with anyone more than you. And nothing makes me happier than seeing you smile. Just, not that smile from, when you were faking it.
With the dead eyes.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You're the reason my life is so full of joy now. So, let's keep on living together. To the fullest.
私さ、意識を失って目の前が真っ暗になった時、少しだけ意識があった気がする。その時少し、ほんの少し寂しいって思った。そんな未練が生まれたのは君のせい。
Boy, that's a lot better than us. We just regretted dying virgins.
It wasn't. That regret was always inside you. If you ask me, you felt that way all along. I've been enjoying myself every day, more than I ever have before. What about you? Can you really give up on the life you have now?
やっぱりムカつく男。
It's a talent.
And what are you trying to say?
もういいって。ちゃんと諦めたつもりだったのに。そんなこと言われたらさ。いいのかな。私でも願ってもいいのかな。
Why would you not?
それはだって今更でしょ。めんどくさい女だって自分でも思うし。それでも彼女になりたい。私は君の彼女になりたい。好きだから。
She looks me directly in the eyes as she says this.
この願い叶うかな。
Slowly, I reach out my hand toward hers. In turn, she timidly reaches out for mine. Our fingers touch, then naturally intertwine.
It will, Natsume.
誰その女。
Sorry, I'm just not used to calling girls by their first name.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that little weirdness of his.
そういえば、井内谷さんの時も若干気持ち悪かったっけ。
I hope this doesn't ruin what we were just talking about.
No, come on, don't say that.
Taking a deep breath, I take a moment to put my emotions in order. And then...
I love you. I love you, Natsume. I love you more than anything. So please, be my girlfriend.
Okay, can we take a moment? Did she just Han Solo us?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh, come on. If there's anyone who would do that...
彼女にしてください。
If there's anyone who would do that, it's either her or it's Suzune.
No, it makes more sense with her because she's more got the kind of Han Solo sarcastic vibe.
That's true.
Suzune would probably just make another crack about fucking her brother. We ruined a nice moment, didn't we?
カフェステラと死神の蝶。
Our bad.
Alright, so this is probably a good place to
Yeah,
leave
this
off.
is probably a good place. Besides, this was an emotional roller coaster of an episode.
This was an emotional roller coaster of an episode. Yeah. Like I said, I'm glad that we are playing two games right now simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
And that they are not the same. Like, I think we've had a lot of Kinkoi episodes.
Yes.
And I think we've had one moment out of all of them.
Yeah, maybe one or two. There have been a couple of serious topics, but nothing to this kind of magnitude.
No. So, like, I'm really glad that we've got the two going at the same time.
I am too.
It worries me, this one, because her health is a reoccurring thing.
But, I mean, if... Not to go ahead and get into what's in the next episode, but I mean, if this is just a work-related stress issue, like the implication is, then maybe it's just a situation where we just have to make sure she's taking it easy and pacing herself instead of... I mean, because when you think about it, the stall was, what, 3 straight days?
Basically, and they would have been open...
Late. Very late. And into the day.
From early to late.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah.
So that's a lot. And it was mostly Kousei and Natsume manning the stall. Yeah, Makoto and Kana were taking shifts and Hyuchidani popped in for a little bit, but it was by and large just the two of them.
Yeah, it was.
So that's a lot.
That's true. So hopefully that's it, because since she's had health issues in the past, I that just worries me.
It's
That
concerning.
you know.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that this will be the only brush with that particular issue that we have for the rest of this plot, because I don't know if I can take another part of that.
Oof,
This gave me one of our friends, we were talking offline because he's watching along too, and he was talking about this brings up some Clannad vibes for those of you who have read or played through, because I believe there's a game version. And yeah, especially after this episode, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope it does not have the exact same kind of vibes as Clannad, because I'm not ready for that again.
Yeah.
But it was still a very good episode, and I'm really glad we got there.
Still just a really solid game.
Yeah.
Really like this.
So good.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's got a great story. Great characters.
And I like every single character in this game.
Same.
Every single one.
Yep. Me too.
Well, I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
Mm-hmm.
And join us again next time. We are the Bridge Boys, signing off.